All right, we're going through the process of how to actually use the MacroStax app. So I've just opened up the app. Here's the first thing that pops up my screen. The macros, the carbs, the protein, the fat, that was all built on me based of how much I move throughout the day, based on some of the information I entered in the beginning. Don't worry so much about that. What we're focused on in this video is how to actually add food here. So you're going to see breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's because I told MacroStax that I typically do 3 meals a day. So depending on what you told it at the initial setup, will dictate what you specifically see here. So I'm going to go ahead and hit breakfast just where that arrow is. That's going to bring me to the next screen, which you're going to see, which is going to be my opportunity to add meals, copy yesterday's meals, do different things on that end. And you can see even favoriting meal items. So you can add some of your classic favorites. So you're going to see me go through the process of actually adding food. So in this particular morning for breakfast, I had a Chobani yogurt. I had some strawberries in there. I had whole wheat toast with avocado. So you're going to see me start to add this. So I'm going to select, as you see here, add meal, which is going to give me the opportunity to then go ahead and add. So you're going to see me start to search Chobani yogurt, and that pulls up some different options here. Now, there is an option to scan a barcode. I promise you that's the easiest thing to do. But if you can or you don't have that, something you're making at home, you can just go ahead and search. So you'll see I find the non-fat plain yogurt that I had. I added that. Here's the next key piece. I'm changing, if you see me here, the actual serving size. So the standard serving size here was a cup. I went ahead and measured that out. So I knew, or standard was 0.75. I had a cup because I knew that because I actually measured that out. Again, you probably want to do your best early on to start to trial with some of these things. So you're actually knowing the portion size that you put into that. That's a key piece of this because if I just left this blank, I may have had more or less whatever we're going through. So I'm going to go ahead and play. You're going to see me change, add that, and then I click the add more items button that appears, and you're going to see me start to type. I had that with strawberries in there as well. I added those. Same process as I went through with the Chobani. So this next one, you're going to see me start to look, and this is something I wanted to do intentionally. You're going to see me start to experiment with, finding the whole wheat bread. Now, there's just a standard whole wheat that comes in there. That's fine, but I had Dave's Killer whole wheat bread. So you're going to see me start to go through this a little bit. Like I type in some different options to see what comes up, doesn't come up there. So you might have to experiment with this earlier. Again, I recommend if you're doing something, eating something consistently, that you're saving that. See Dave's bread, that doesn't come up. And then you see it when I just had Dave's, I scrolled down, I hit the one I had, and then I changed the portion size. I had 2 slices, which is why you see me putting in the 2 slices from there. So I went and had, if I could spell, had an avocado there next. And so then once again, you're going to see me enter that in. I'm clicking that, changing the portion size, and then adding that. So that's going to give me, you'll see at the top, my protein, my carbs, fat. We're not so much worried about that right now, but if you're curious where you're at, that's going to tell you how much you have left. Again, a lot of those have been customized through MacroStax. But and once I have my lunch, I'll then go ahead and integrate that into the lunch. So that's the process for entering food into MacroStax. And really simple process, takes a little bit of give and take a little bit trying to find the right things, but favorite your meals makes life way easier.